Welcome to the Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to the Actor's Choice. Roll it, Tony.
You all good, hon? Are you still waiting on a friend?
Yeah, I'm still waiting.
All right, then. No hurry. Here, let me clear that. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I think I got a shock. Static electricity or something.
I don't know what happened. All she did was touch the guy.
Help me! Hang on.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to the Actor's Choice. My first guest today had been strong over the years to her theater roots, performing numerous shows, including the $5 Shakespeare Company, directed by renowned TV film Broadway director Zol Zwick. In 2022, she made her directorial debut, as I called it, but first a stunning and rare music video, and then followed by an award-winning comedy short. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome actress Carolina Espiro.
And hello, everyone. So happy to be here.
Indeed. First question, madam. Where were you born?
I was born in Santiago, Chile. Came to the States.
Okay. Santiago, Chile. Okay. Okay. When was the last time you was back at home?
Ooh, it was before pandemic. We used to go back every 2 years or so. Last time we went, I took, at the time was my boyfriend, Matt Espiro Jager. And he met the family, and he's from Wisconsin. He is as pale as you can imagine, redhead, and tall, at least for the Chilean people. So he walked into a room of my family members towering over them. With his red hair and blue eyes, and everyone was like, who is this specimen? Which was hilarious because he's usually like, children love him, but we had a brand new baby girl and saw him and just started screaming bloody murder. She just wasn't used to someone who looked like that, but he spent the rest of the night just winning her over. So, but yeah, that was the last time, and I miss it, but we're planning on going back soon.
Got you. Okay. You were raised in sunny Southern California?
Yes. I've been here since I was 2, all over Southern California. I mean, I don't think I've ever been in one place longer than probably 5 or 6 years. So, but I am definitely a California girl.
Okay. What made you get into the business?
Well, probably like most actors, we were all just acting up as kids, wanting to be in the play, I'm an only child, so I'm like, look at me. But apparently I was always putting together productions for my parents, and especially if there was like a Disney song I liked, I would do a whole thing for them and my family, and but it didn't feel real until I think probably my 4th grade teacher put on a class play, and I wanted to be the lead. I was like, I want to do this. It was Tom Sawyer, and I was like, I could do this. I'm like, there's no shame and there's no embarrassment when you're a kid. You're just like, no, I'm the best at this, and I need to have this role. But sadly I got the instead of the I guess the girlfriend of Tom Sawyer, I forget her name, is Emily or something like that. I got the auntie. Apparently my comedic skills brought in that role. So but yeah, and then but I always thought I was going to be a dancer. I got into high school, and I got into the color guard team. We were award-winning color guard team. I was also in a drum and bugle corps, toured all around the country. And so I was like, I'm gonna be a dancer. I'm gonna open up a dance studio. I'm gonna teach dance. So I got into Chapman University down in Orange with a dance scholarship. And my senior year of high school, I decided to finally try drama. Only because it's I had all my practices as dance. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna try drama, and loved it, but it was too late to switch.
Gotcha.
So went to college. My second year, I begged my advisor, can I please switch my scholarship to theater?
Mhm.
And they said yes. And then that's when I started studying
Okay.
theater as an actor.
In 1999, according to IMDb, you had your first was called, what's this? Scar?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Scar. Oh, yeah. Film horror, role
Yes.
Jane Houston.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. That is a
Takes you
long.
back in time. Yeah.
Oh, that was actually during college. They
Wow.
these kids, they were, I believe they were from Japan. They were Japanese film students, and they came to Chapman looking for their lead actress, and they auditioned a bunch of us, and they were gonna pay, and it was like a first, professional gig, and they wanted to cast someone who was white, blonde hair, light skin, all of that. And but I am Chilean and I didn't really fit that role, so they asked me if I would be willing to dye my hair blonde, because the lead was a Japanese actor and they wanted a white Hollywood daughter of a Hollywood producer. In those times, that's what the look was. So I had to dye my hair blonde, which clashed with my skin. But that's me in the poster with the blonde hair. And it was really interesting. It was the start of this whole kind of discovery that, oh, if I'm going to be a lead in a movie, I need to lean into more stereotypically white characters. If not, I'm going to be the Latin best friend, or I'm going to be the maid, or all of those things. It was a really interesting time. It was before, women of color were being, pushed up in stories and writing. So it was a really interesting time to experience that, and thank goodness it's starting to change. But yeah.
Okay. You've had quite a few pieces of work. For example, you did The Young and the Restless back in 2015, but in 2018, you had the bodacious nerve to get in there. There you go, FBI. He was bodacious back in those days. Great those days. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Detective Dick Gates, that is.
I have to thank my husband for that. He booked a role on Broadway, which moved us to New York for a year. And there I had to find a new agent. We had to do everything over again. And I did, and they got me into the FBI, and it was a co-star role. But then all of a sudden they were like, we want to bring you back again and again and again. So now that I'm out here in LA, every once in a while I'll get the call, say, hey, can you come back to redo Detective Gates for FBI? I'm like, any excuse to come back to New York, absolutely.
Okay. Now, something very special happened to you. You became a director. Don't see too many lady directors. That's beautiful. So, what made you try your hand at directing?
It's been a long time coming. One of the times I went to Chile, I was teenager. I wanted to, know my future. My aunt is a clairvoyant, and so I
Mhm.
asked her. I was like, Thea, am I gonna be a famous actress when I grow up? And she was like, no. And I was like, what? And then he said, no, but you're going to be a filmmaker. You're going to be a big filmmaker. That's what you're going to do. And my dad always said I should be a director, and I
Mhm.
was always fighting against it because I'm like, no,
Mhm.
I want to be in front of the camera. But as I went through my career, I started to notice that my mind always went beyond my character. I was
Yes.
always thinking about, the other person coming in and how that tied into the story, and I couldn't just stay in my lane. And so it started to suspect that this is probably where my path is, but it was really scary. I already did all of my training in acting, all of my experience, success has been there. So to start over was terrifying. And then, like most people, pandemic hit, and I was like, well, if ever is the time to do it now. I had a mentor, um, Elizabeth Elizabeth Blake Thomas. She told me, is like, if you are going to direct, you're gonna have to write. You're gonna have to write, produce, you have to do everything. And I was like, oh gosh, okay, I gotta write.
Yep.
So I wrote during the pandemic, and actually I wrote a script before the pandemic, and then pandemic hit, realized I couldn't do this script because it required an audience, a big crowd. So I had to rewrite it and rewrite something else. And then I was like, what can I do? What can I do here that doesn't require a lot of people? And I knew I wanted to put my mother in it because she just recently started acting at 65. And so I was like, what if my mom was an Avon lady? Like she went door to door. I could shoot that here. That would be so great. I told my mom about the idea, and she was like, "Oh, how funny! I used to be an Avon lady. That was my first job when I came to this country." I was like, "What? How did I know that?" So we started collaborating on this story, and I, my mom is in it, my dad's in it, my dogs are in it. My husband was part of it. It was a family thing. My neighbors, everybody that's there was just here because it's all we could do during that time. I never imagined it to do so well. This was supposed to be my first thing, my calling card to get out there and tell people, hey, look, I can do this. But it has really just spin into this thing where bringing my mom to red carpets and having her interview whole time I'm in the center. Before I used to be in the spotlight, and now it's my mom, and I get to be back, and watch her just shine. And it's such a rewarding thing. I love that we have that.
Speaking of your mother, I understand she did commercials and then made her way over to something else, like Best Actress Award at a film festival.
She never had any interest in being an actor. After she was an Avon lady, she became a businesswoman. That's what she wanted to do. She was a controller, CFO for this, international corporation. She went on to start a couple of her own businesses. And then when she got into retirement, the businesses, she put her heart and soul and funds everything into it. And sadly, they didn't work out. But because of that, she had to kind of semi-retire and work at Macy's, and her arthritis started hurting. And I felt so bad that she had to handle these dresses and with her hands hurting. And I'm like, you know what? My mom is so charming, and she's got the
Mhm.
greatest face. And I'm like, I bet I can get her into commercials because I had been doing it for so many years already. So I trained her for a couple of weeks. I knew she had such a natural knack for it. She auditioned for my agent. She got in. Then they wanted to see my dad because it was during the pandemic where they wanted real couples, real families. He got in, and within 4 months, they booked three national commercials and had to join SAG. And my husband and I were like, it took us 2 years to get into the union, and you guys did it in 4 months. I can't believe you. But so she had only been doing it for a few months before I reined her into Avon Lady. So now that's kind of, she quit Macy's. All she does, she goes on auditions, and then she enjoys her retirement. So I'm just so happy that was able to happen for her.
And Avon Lady, Avon Lady. You did that for a minute there, I understand, as a director.
Yes, I was a writer and director of the Avon Lady. That was a couple, I think we shot
Okay,
that a couple years ago. Yeah.
good piece of work you did. We just happen to have a copy. Roll it, Tony.
Demonstration with the latest products available. Demonstration, demonstration, demonstration.
Hello there.
Beautiful. The Avon Lady. Beautiful.
Absolute favorite scene.
Um, two things I want to get in before you walk out the door. I understand how does it feel falling behind some A-lister actresses like Eva Longoria, Angela Jolie, Jodie Foster? You're in line behind a bunch of good folks.
Oh, I mean, just to be kind of mentioned alongside them is, overwhelming. And but not only that, I feel blessed, but I also feel that responsibility. because I'm very aware of how many few women are women directors out there, and even less Latina directors, and even less Latina comedy directors. So there is a responsibility to make sure that, you know, everything that I do is the possible best it can be. You know, surrounding myself with professional women, hiring women, making sure that the quality is always there, because we have to keep paving those paths. And once we make that path, we can turn around and be like, hey, this way, this is it, you know. Because, you know, we're getting there. We're not there yet. We're not even close, but we're getting there. And that's the goal, hopefully, you know.
Gotcha. You mentioned your husband, actor Matthew Jager, also a winemaker.
Yes.
Tell us about Phil Wines, please. I'm interested.
Yeah, thank you. I love talking about him and what he's done. So he's done his he's done a bunch of TV, Magnum PI, Yellowstone is one of my favorite things he's done. But during the pandemic, he also started pivoting. He'd always wanted to be a winemaker. We started dating at a winery. He proposed at a winery. We got married at a winery up in Demetria Winery. And he's only been making it for about 3 years. His wine is already at the Magic Castle, at Michelin star Sushi Note, at Buvette, or Vintage in Studio City. He's been doing so well. And the great thing is that I absolutely love the wine. And can you imagine if I didn't? But I do. And we just finished yesterday our first pop-up at Buvette in Sherman Oaks. And the day before, we were at the festival, Garage East Festival in Solvang. And he was just so excited because a couple came up to him and said, we were just at the Ken Brown Winery, which is like the godfather of winemakers out there. And they were like, and the people at Ken Brown said, go to this festival and find full wines, because he does amazing wine. And he just like, oh my God. And the funny thing is he's worked with so many actors, like famous actors. I've never seen him so shaken than, you know, that pride of making that wine. And he just blows me away. And he continues to act, but you can see the joy that wine brings him. And Fool is pronounced Fool, though spelled Fuil, is a Gaelic word that means blood, like relations and your where you're from, also blood, but all of the different meanings of what Fool means. But there's also like a modern kind of like slang which means full. Hence, that's why in our logo we have a fool's cap. But I help, and I stomp grapes, and I help with marketing, and we bring our wine members up to the winery to taste it from the barrel. I mean, it's small, but you know, we love all of our members, and we're really excited about it.
Got you. Well, Carolina, continued success. Thank you. I want to thank you for being here today. Thanking your publicist, founder, CEO, Espada, public relations, Jasmine Espada.
Love you, Jasmine.
It makes it possible for you and a whole lot of people. God bless them. When it comes to being on a stage, all I can say is one thing: break a leg.
Thank you.
Nice to have met you, Carolina. Nice to have met you.
This
is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it, Tony. We would like to let you know that we're asking our people to help us get former baseball player Kurt Flood into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, Kurt passed away January 1997, husband of one of our wonderful guests, renowned actress Judy Pace. So give a call, please, to our office, 213-349-3941. That's 213-349-3941. We thank you very, very much. Roll it, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for the incredible number of requests that we have been receiving for flyers, postcards, business cards, and other collateral. To streamline this process, we kindly request that you visit our request page and submit your requests, including those for on-site repairs, okay? Just go up on www.actorschoicela.org/requests. Again, www.theactorschoicela.org/requests, okay? Okay. Thank you for following the Actor's Choice. Roll it, Tony.
Break of dawn, let it go, let it go. That perfect girl is gone. Here I
Wow, did you look at that lady coming down the stairs? Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today is a marvelous actress who's been on a set for years. And if you ever see her, like her bio, you will see that she's the most impressed, a lot of things she's done. I just want to give you a few of the plays because we'd be here all day long if she told you all the ones that she's done. In fact, she cracked me up. She said, I said, how many TV and films she did over the years? She said, 2. That's 2. That's okay. She's been that was First Fairy and Midsummer's Night's Dream, Queen Isabel and Henry V, Eva Peron and Evita. I can go on and on and on, but the lady is here today to talk about a current play that she's in right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome actress Cassandra Murphy. I love that. Cassandra Murphy. How you doing, lady? We meet.
We meet finally.
Finally. It's great. Thank you so much for taking out the time. Thank you. First question. Where were you born?
I was born in Arcadia, California.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, there it is. Arcadia, California. Okay. Now, what was it like growing up in that town?
It was wonderful. You know, I was born in Arcadia, but we quickly moved to Laverne, California. It's a small town, but it's wonderful. It's clean and beautiful, and the people are nice. Yeah, I think it was a very safe neighborhood to live in too, growing up. So that was lovely. You know, at that time we could just run around from morning till dusk.
Yes.
Can't really do that anymore. But in my youth, we just went to the baseball field and played all day until the sun went down. So it was lovely.
So growing up was nice.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah. So when did the acting bug first bite you?
The acting bug bit me at the Amundsen Theater when I saw Phantom of the Opera. You know, it felt like a very spiritual experience to me. I saw what they were doing on stage. I fell in love with the Phantom. He was my first crush at 8 years old. You know, I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that whatever was happening on stage, I had to be a part of that.
Yes.
I stole my aunt's binoculars and
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't.
Oh, yes, I did. 8 years old. I stole them and I kept them the entire time. And I was transfixed by it. And I never looked back after that. It has always been theater for me.
Because I have a bug to play, because everybody who's on this show, they know me. When I talk about the fact that people come here from all over the world, I want to be a star. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But
Right.
all they do is film and TV. They don't do no stage.
Yeah. It's a different beast. It's a different beast. We had our first audience last night for Sweeney Todd.
Uh-huh.
And I'm telling you, it's like the missing piece to a show. You know, it's the last prop you get. And so it was very exciting to have people see the show for the first time last night.
Wow. So when I look at your bio, ladies and gentlemen, all you see is stage. All you see. All you see. Talk about the roles that you like to do, please.
Yes, the roles that I like to do. I think I tend to veer to the dramatic roles.
Yes.
Like you had mentioned, Eva Peron, you know, Esmeralda in Hunchback. Fantine, you know, I'm the tortured soul. I usually die at the end of every show that I do.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on 1 second, please. You say you died. When you guys and girls are out there learning to be an actor, y'all crack me up. Learning how to die, y'all crack me up.
I mean, it has to be believable.
Yes.
You know? Yeah, so I feel like I tend to sway towards those roles.
You're too much. You are too much. Too much. Where was I at? Oh, yeah. I'm going to say one word, and that is Broadway.
Broadway, yeah. That's a dream, of course, you know.
Yes.
That's always been a dream of mine, though I feel that I can safely say I have found um, a great career in LA for theater for
Yes.
myself. And I feel honored and lucky to be able to say that. It's not as saturated as it is in New York with theater. So, so to be able to make a living off of doing theater in LA is, I feel very lucky um, that I'm able to say that. But of course, I would not turn down a call from the Broadway. Um, so that's still in the books for me. I'm that'll happen at some point.
Got you. I was born and raised in New York City in Harlem, uptown, but I used to go downtown to Broadway. I'd
Yeah,
watch the statue with the bald head on him and the birds on his head, get
yeah,
some of them hot dogs, and pretzels and stuff, that stuff.
yeah. I love it.
Yeah,
My husband right now is actually rehearsing in New York for First National Tour. So
got you.
he's getting to live that life right now. I'm very proud of him.
Excellent. Same. Excellent. Excellent. You came here today. Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
There it is.
There
There's
it is.
Jeff Elliott. There's Jeff Elliott as Sweeney Todd.
Can you give us a little synopsis, please?
Yes, I can. So what you would see when you walk in is an abandoned theater on
Mm-hmm.
the stage. It's a thrust stage. So where that three-quarters of it is taken into the audience, basically. So you would see an unhoused group of individuals in this abandoned theater
Yes.
telling the precautionary tale of Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street,
Uh-huh.
and why it's important to tell the story about how power can be corrupted and how it affects from the top all the way to the bottom of the food chain. And I believe our director, Julia Elliott, decided to use an unhoused group of individuals because there is a hierarchy in any community. And so it's interesting to see what that hierarchy would be in those group of people. And I don't want to spoil anything, but we do start the show in our own theater seats, staring at you as the theater goer in your theater seats.
Got you.
We're all together, really, we start all in the same place. Um, yeah, yeah. And so it's a story of a barber who was done wrong and sent to jail unjustly. And he's coming back for revenge. And he meets a baker called Mrs. Lovett, and that is the role that I play in the show, who needs some ingredients for her meat pies. And since Sweeney has a thirst for revenge, she has an idea to use those folks as pies, the last ingredient in her pies. So it's a rather dark comedy, full of wonderful and beautiful music.
Got you. You played a role of Miss Lovett?
I do. That's the role that I play.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Uh, Tony, can you put up this one? This is some of the cast that we had. There you go. Thank you, Tony.
Yes, yes. So that's Rod. He's our wonderful musical director. Jeff is beside me. He plays Sweeney,
Mhm.
the demon barber. And that's me smiling or we're all smiling at someone. Someone's telling a joke or something.
Uh-huh. Wow. The synopsis, I'm just going back to that for a second. I saw what they said in the paperwork.
Yeah.
Diabolical comedy, stunning tenor, razor rap wit, and extraordinary music. That's
Yeah.
what you get, folks, when you come to see this play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And more, and more.
And more. The music it's the hardest show musically that I've ever I've done in my life.
Yes.
And not just for me. I know we all have had but it just makes it better. It just makes you want to consume it even more the harder it is. Yeah, Sondheim really, it's my favorite piece of work he's ever written.
You work at, if you will, a noise within, and you are a resident artist. Tell folks what that is.
So a resident artist is compiled of a group of not only actors, but lighting designers, dramaturgs, fight choreographers,
Mm-hmm.
scenic designers, um, uh, costumer. I mean, everything you could imagine. Um, I think there's about 20 of us in the company,
Wow.
and it's
They
a
don't
group
give away that distinction. They don't give it.
No. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't think it's many, but it's a group of people who we trust. There's a very shorthand communication when you do a show. When, I've been there for almost 7 years with
Yes.
around, I think, 7 shows with this company. So with Jeff or Julia or Casey, um, there's a very shorthand and there's a trust with these individuals that you might not have out in the world as an actor. So I feel very, very lucky to be a part of that resident artist group. And, not that they pick shows for their artists only, but I think that they do take into account the talent that pool that they have,
Yes.
and try to give us opportunities to shine for sure.
I see. Wow. Mm, mm. Question: what excites you the most about this play?
Oh, oh my gosh. Well, this play is gigantic.
Okay.
It's a gigantic piece of work. And I think what excites me is that Sweeney Todd is usually done in very large scale. And we have taken it down to a very intimate place to where you can see all of the nuances of what Sondheim really wanted you to see in this show. I do not think things will be missed by, and it doesn't mean the production isn't large because it is, but yeah, it's an intimate telling. And I think, and I believe our director has said this before, that this is how Sondheim wanted it to be told, was in an intimate setting. So yeah, yeah.
I was doing some research and they said that the noise within has been called, quote, an oasis for those who love classic stories.
Yes.
LA
Yes.
Times put that out.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
good.
it's so cool. And this is a classic tale. It's been
Yes.
done by movie. Penny Dreadful did a snippet of it. It's books and books of The Demon Barber of Fleet Street. It has a rich history. So I'm glad that they did it, and I'm not surprised at the same time. It really fits into fits into the theater.
Tell us about when it opens and how can I get some tickets?
Yeah, how can you get some tickets? So our first preview just happened yesterday, Sunday,
Uh-huh.
February 11th. We
Uh-huh.
preview this whole week and then we open on the 17th of this month. It's a Saturday at 8 p.m. And
Okay.
if you go to anoisewithin.org, I believe you can
Mhm.
find tickets for Sweeney Todd.
Mhm. Okay. And we got a picture of what what it looks like. There you go. I know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you
that's
did.
the
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's the outside.
absolutely.
And then we have one following this one. Up there's the inside.
Oh, see, and there's the thrust stage. So you see how you can see the intimacy of the
Yes.
theater, right?
Thank you, Tony. Yes. Oh my goodness, that is quite a piece of work right there. I mean, to see and you're above it, the stage is, as you know.
Oh yeah.
How
Oh
does
yeah.
that feel when you're doing your do? When you're up
Oh,
there doing your work?
there's a rush that there's a rush that is undeniable and it compares to nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the give and take of the audience being there. The audience is part of why you want to share the, the gifts that we have.
Yes.
So it isn't just about the acting or the individual for me. It's about having the audience there. And we have created a moment that will never happen again. It will never, ever happen again. So yeah, it's a thrill to say the least.
Wow. All right. Well, all I got to say is if you need tickets, 626-356-3100 or www.anosewithin.org.
Yes, that's it.
Oh, look at it. That's it. That's beautiful. Thank you so very, very much.
Thank you for having
Cassandra
me.
Maria Murphy. Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. Nice meeting you. Nice
You
meeting
too.
you.
You
Okay.
too.
This is the actor's choice. I forgot to write. I got something I got to say. Well, Cassandra, unfortunately, we have to run out because we're out of time, but please do come back again. And please thank your publicist, my dear friend, Lucy Pollock. It's quite a lady, and I love to work with her. She's the best. And best wishes to you. Break
Thank
that lead.
you. Thank
Break
you
that
so
lead.
much. Have a great day.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Cassandra Marie Murphy. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it, Tony. Well, ladies and gentlemen, do you want to get into broadcasting? This is as you know, I teach it down there at Santa Monica College. This coming Tuesday, which we will be available for you to get in my class. Give me a call, if you will, 323-533-1036. That's 323-533-1036. You'll learn a lot of good stuff about being in this business and what it's all about. Okay? Okay. Roll it, Tony.
Jack, honey, aren't you even gonna try to get into the mood?
How come you're not going crazy about all this?
What do you mean?
I tell you, we have a treaty with aliens. And it's as if I've told you that we're repainting the Lincoln bedroom.
Well, I've always known something like this was happening.
You have.
When I was a little girl, I woke up in the middle of the night to this sound.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today is best known for playing Marilyn Monroe on the 10th season of American Horror Story, which you just saw. Now, she originated the role of Marilyn in the live show, The King in Maryland. She also played Marilyn in the premiere production of The Kaja Live at the historic Roosevelt Hotel Cinegrill Theater in Hollywood. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shy. Excuse me, I said a Shy. I got a granddaughter named Shy. That slipped. Alisha.
Alisha, yeah.
Freudian slip, Brewington. Alisha, welcome to the Actor's Choice. And would you please tell us where you was born?
I was born in Anchorage, Alaska, and grew up in Seattle, Washington.
Oh, when you said Anchorage, what you're looking at right now, oh, it's cold up there. Eskimos, fishing, birds, all that good, all in one place. Yeah, I had the pleasure of being in there. Wow, wow. What made you get into acting, madam?
I was very shy as a child, and performing was, I think, sort of a safe, creative way to express myself. And yeah, I grew up doing ballet, and that was my first love, and then moved into theater.
Okay. When you finally got into it, as I see here, you had your first IMDb film credit was called it was a film short drama called A Passing Afternoon. Remember that one?
I do.
Okay.
Back when I was blonde and living in New York City.
Blonde in New York. Okay. What roles do you like to do?
I love period pieces. I love anything that's historical. I think that's I love character work, dialect work, stuff like that. I also love comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun. I've done a couple Disney Channel shows, and those ended up being a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get right to it. We're talking about Marilyn Monroe.
Yes.
Can you give us a synopsis on Marilyn, Mom and Me? That's what you're doing at the problem.
Yes, it's a beautiful play written by Luke Yankee, and it follows his relationship, his complex relationship with his mother, and his attempts to understand her better by understanding her friendship with Marilyn Monroe on the set of the movie Bus Stop.
Okay. Okay. As I read the paper, I saw it said a Yankees deeply personal comic drama, Son of the Playwright. Interesting. World premiere. Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice when you can see world premiere. Oh my goodness. I, Playing the role of Marilyn Monroe. First of all, how did you get into that position? Can you tell us all the things that you knew about? What made you become Marilyn Monroe?
Well, definitely
And
haven't
play it
become
and do it
Marilyn Monroe,
well,
but
and you do it well. Excuse me for
well, thank,
interrupting. You do it well. Yeah.
thank you. I've always been drawn to her, even as a little
Uh-huh.
girl. Um, her picture is everywhere.
Yes.
Uh, the first time I really played Marilyn Monroe was I auditioned at Universal Studios Hollywood.
Okay.
And that's kind of where the journey started. And then opportunities and doors have sort of opened as a result of beginning my work there.
Okay. You get around, fast forward, you get around a lot of places. Tony, can you run that video? This is Marilyn Monroe, you playing Marilyn Monroe at the Speakeasy.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, all right, all right. What made you get, like I said, what did you know about Marilyn?
Well, I feel like I'm constantly learning more about her. She's a very
Okay.
fascinating, complex woman.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like as long as I'm getting opportunities to play her, I owe her the respect to continue studying her and learning about her life. I think her deep humanity and complexity is sort of what kind of still draws people to her today, whether they're aware of it or not.
Seeing a lot of actors and actresses taking jobs like what you do, and you take the part of a famous person who is no longer with us, and even sometimes they're with us. What's that like doing like when I saw that just moments ago, that was Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, thank you. One, it's a lot of pressure. Two, it's a really great challenge. As I said, I love vocal work. Coming from a dance background, I love studying people's physicality.
Uh-huh.
College, we did a lot of movement and voice and speech work. So that's something that I've always gravitated to. It's definitely a challenge, but it's one that I am very grateful to have and hope I do her justice in my own little way.
How many films did you do on Marilyn Monroe?
I recently did a short film, which is still making some rounds in the festivals, called Jackie and Marilyn. Played her in 3 or 4 TV shows, I think.
Yes.
And then, multiple stage projects. And so yeah, it's been quite a variety.
Wow, let's see.
But on film, it's just one film project.
Got you. I was looking for it. I had it in my hand. Lethal Weapon in 2017, American with Highway Star, which we just saw. Angeline 2022. And of course, the post-production that you're talking about, Jackie and Marilyn. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. My goodness. You're here right now to tell us about Marilyn, Mom, and Me. I fell upon, Tony, this is number 47. I fell upon a video.
Oh.
Tony, can you run this one? I think she'll like this one.
Can I ask you something? Why does Josh call you Hacky?
It's a nickname I've had since high school.
And do you like being called that?
Nobody's ever asked me that. It's just a name that kind of stuck.
But do you like it?
I hate it. I've always hated it.
Sounds like someone who works in a
Ladies and gentlemen, this was an online presentation on May 14th through the 17th, 2020, as a benefit of the Actors Fund. And this is Flora Gardner as Eileen Hector, and of course, Alisha as Marilyn Monroe. So you did it back then. You're going to get ready to do it again.
Yeah. We did our first read through of the very first draft of Marilyn back in, let's see, was it either August or September of 2019?
Yes, ma'am.
And then we did various staged readings of other drafts from 2019 to early 2020. And then Luke, the playwright, who is just, I think, probably the biggest go-getter I've ever met, very ambitious and very motivated. He really wanted to do something for the community during 2020, during COVID. And so, yeah, we put together a virtual reading, two of them actually, in 2021. So, yeah, it's a little, jarring to see Marilyn Monroe with a, iPhone.
Makeup, the blonde, all that stuff. Wow.
All that stuff. But
yes.
But yeah, it was fun to be able to be creative and experience different iterations of this play. And now we finally get to do it, a full-fledged production. So it's very exciting.
Oh my goodness. You take out my mouth when I hear it, the sound, the work that goes into that, my goodness. Jackie and Marilyn completed. Film short drama, 15 minutes long. Who is Jackie?
Jackie Kennedy.
Jackie Kennedy. Just two actors in the film?
Yep, just two of us. Haley Ram, who is incredible, and I feel very fortunate to have walked away from that film with a wonderful friend.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a sort of a fictionalized version of a rumor that is circulated that there was supposedly a meeting between Jackie and Marilyn, but it's really about two women coming together and connecting in unfortunate circumstances.
What's it like? I'm looking right now at a normal person. What's it like to come from, not to say you're being abnormal, but what's it like to be what you are and come into this world, Marilyn Monroe?
Well, I guess I just see it as a role. And yeah, it's what I've trained for, and costumes, wig, makeup do a lot.
Yes.
So yeah, I feel very fortunate to have had the opportunities to play her that I have. But yeah, it's never been a thing where I've lost myself in the role or anything, which people sometimes ask.
And having to come on, turn it off, come back, and that's what actors do. That's why y'all are who you are. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Now I understand you will be starring in Marilyn Monroe as Marilyn Monroe as an upcoming production at the International City Theater in Long Beach.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that, please?
Yeah, we just finished Tech Weekend. Today is my one day off this week, and so a little tired today. I think everyone who's involved in the production is. It's we kind of feel like we've been shot out of a cannon. It's a short rehearsal process, and it's a very big play. It's a lot of words, a lot of quick changes. And yeah, I'm excited. We have first preview this week on Wednesday, the 13th, and then the 14th. No, wait, that's wrong. Our first preview is the 14th, and then the 15th, and then 16th we open on Friday. So my brain's still a little bit of a jumble after all of this rehearsal, but.
Can you tell us who those people are in that picture?
Yes, well, that's me. And Laura Gardner plays Eileen Heckert. And she really carries the show. This is her show in truth. She, I think, only leaves the stage twice. She travels back in time between, Eileen on her deathbed to Eileen on the set of Bus Stop. And she's just absolutely brilliant. And then we have Brian Rohan, who is actually the reason I'm involved in this play. He's been a longtime friend of Luke Yankee, and he said, when you get ready to do your first readings of this, I have your Marilyn. So I owe him a lot. And he's so earnest and such a kind, wonderful soul and beautiful, honest actor. So he plays Luke Yankee. And then we have Jacqueline Lorraine Schofield, who is the newest member of our cast, and we're so lucky to have her. She plays Ella Fitzgerald, Rosetta Lenoir, and then also Paula Strasberg. And she is just so adept at going in between all of these different characters. And she's got a beautiful singing voice and just such a joy and a light, and brings such a wonderful, buoyant energy to the cast. And then we have Noah Wagner, who plays Joshua Logan, Arthur Miller, Laurence Olivier, a Fox executive, a second AD. I think that's he's our everyman, and he is also a brilliant character actor and just so adept at coming in and out of all of these different roles. And I feel very lucky to have him as a scene partner for some pretty emotional scenes, and he's just a joy. So it's a lovely cast, and I'm so grateful to work with such brilliant actors.
Lisa, all we can say is break a leg. And thank you so much for being here today. Come back again, please, and give my best to your publicist, my dear friend, Lucy Pollock.
Will do.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank our sponsors, Harvey Brandman's Photography is an Art, Ron Irwin's Lose Life, The Way to Lose Weight, Larry Buford's book To the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, State Farm agent Carla Green, and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's actor training facility and Actors by Space. And much, much thanks to our guest today, actress, director, producer Carolina Espiro, actress Cassandra Murphy, and actress Alisha Sopher. The Actor's Choice is a presentation of B&B Productions. We're on Brewington, and Sydney is our president, and Sydney Chandler is our executive producer. Special thanks to our ever-growing audience. Hey, we love you. We love you. We thank you. I'm Ron Brewington. Be well. Be well. See you next time. Yeah. Bye.